Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Carnivore Evolution. Today our guest is Gail Lee, also known as Divine Carnivore on Instagram. She is an Instagrammer who's a former vegan. She's also a mother, a surgical technician, an entrepreneur with an herbal remedies and tallow-based products line, and an avid outdoors person. We're here to welcome Gail. Thank you very much for joining us, Gail. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. We really want to hear about you and your story on the carnivore diet, your journey, and what you've overcome with the regimen. So, if you will, let us know what's going on.
All right. I started my carnivore journey almost 13 months ago. And before I was doing carnivore, I was actually animal-based. So I transitioned from animal-based to carnivore after I had my daughter about 4.5 years ago. I struggled with a lot of like health problems, like hormonal imbalances, uncontrollable eating, and hunger, eczema, like really bad eczema that I had never had my entire life. I don't know where it came from. Yeah, so I was kind of a wreck. I was really sleep deprived for about a year and a half after having her. I could never lose any of the weight that I put on with my pregnancy, other than like the initial, like after giving birth, you lose a little bit of weight. But so yeah, I just felt really stuck, really like unhappy in a way. Just like I wasn't really just like I didn't feel good in my skin. And I dealt with that for I would say for about 3 years. Like the eczema was really bad. I would just be like scratching myself. Like being in the shower is what would trigger it the most. So I'd just be in the shower like scratching my arms and my chest and my stomach uncontrollably. And I tried elimination diets. I tried eliminating like eggs at one point. I tried dairy, and then I tried like the nuts, like the nut butters that I was eating, and nothing seemed to help. I would fast sometimes, and that would kind of help it go away a little bit, but nothing would. I don't see any. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, nothing would ever like heal it. And I tried going to, it's kind of embarrassing, but I went to a dermatologist. I mean, I just felt like just out of options. Like I don't even, honestly, I don't know if that's what it was. I'm assuming it was eczema because from all the stories that I hear, it seems like that's what it was. But it was, they couldn't figure out anything, of course. All I got was a big bill from them. And so anyways, my husband is the one that showed me some videos on Instagram about the carnivore diet, and it really intrigued me, and I was very curious about it, and I just kept watching videos for the longest time because like honestly, it just didn't seem like it didn't seem very realistic for me to eat that way, because it seemed very extreme. Like I'm sure a lot of people think when they're not informed about that lifestyle. But so yeah, it really intrigued me, but at the same time, it didn't seem possible. And I think that was also my sugar addiction talking, because I didn't want to quit eating sugar and fruit, and like I was really into raw honey. because I was following these animal-based accounts that where these influencers talk about like raw honey and being really good for you. And I don't know, maybe it is to a certain extent, uh, but I was addicted to it, and like I couldn't stop eating the fruit and the honey. But I was thinking, oh well, I mean, it's not sugar, so it must be okay.
Mhm.
Um, but it wasn't working for me. So one day, out of the blue, I didn't plan on it. I just hi Mark,
Hey guys, how are we?
good.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm very,
I was
very well.
good. I was just in the middle of explaining how I got to the carnivore diet, but so
I want to hear everything, Gail.
oh, so, should I start over?
No. You keep going. You keep going.
Oh, okay. So now I'm at the point where I was animal based, and I was really addicted to sugar, honey and fruit. I was addicted to honey and fruit, and I just I had enough, and one day I just ate nothing but meat and eggs, like beef and eggs, and I went the whole entire day. And so I had one day down, and I was just like, okay, I can do this. So I went another day, and then it turned into a week. And then just in those few first days, like my inflammation went down. I didn't even realize I was inflamed, but I could see it in my face. Like my face wasn't so puffy. Um, I mean, I looked different, and just in a few days, like a couple of days, maybe even, um, and I felt so good. Like that's what kept me going is because I felt good, I looked better, and yeah, and then it's that pretty much since that day that I went full carnivore, I never stopped, and 13 months later, here I am.
Wow. Wow. Happy carniversary.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's what we say every year, annually.
Um,
So,
so
yeah.
so just in those few first days, in the first week, let's say, I had a pretty significant change in my inflammation. Like it went down. I lost water weight. Um, I just felt so good, and then like weeks would go by. I just kept feeling better and better, and then after only 1 month, my eczema was completely gone. Like
Wow.
and I just realized it one morning, or I don't know, one day, I was like feeling my arms because I had really bad scaly skin on like both of these arms, like patchy skin, for 3 years. And I just realized that it was completely gone. Like
Oh my
I had it
goodness.
on my chest, on my abdomen, and on my arms. And I could not stop touching my skin. And I still catch myself doing that to this day just because I can't believe how soft my skin is because I lived with that for like 3 years. Um and yeah, so that was like such a big motivation for me to continue and see like what other things I could heal. And
Can
and
I
at
get?
that time,
Can I just
yeah,
jump in, Gail? Like,
yeah, of course.
what was the feedback from the doctors? Like, what information were you being given when you had eczema? Like were you been looked after? Like, what were they saying?
So I went to a dermatologist at one point, and actually, now that I think about it, when I was there, my eczema, like those rashes, weren't really like triggered very much. So they couldn't really see a whole lot. Like they could see the patchiness on my arms and stuff, but I mean, they didn't have any sort of answer at all for me.
Wow, because
Um,
I just came off a podcast there about an hour ago, and the main topic was should we trust the people who have the bigger qualifications, the dermatologists, the PhDs, the
mhm,
doctors, and we were arguing that we've been listening to this advice now for over 50 years, well over 50 years. But
70.
people,
Yeah.
but people are still
yeah,
dealing with skin issues. People are still dealing with mental health issues.
yeah,
Obesity is going through the roof. type 2 diabetes is going through the roof. Women are in
Yeah.
severe pain with their periods,
Yeah.
endometriosis, fibromyalgia, PCOS. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
And everybody in the world at the moment claims to be a top expert in their field.
Yeah.
But when you went to see these people, they couldn't give you the information that
Yeah.
you wanted. So
Not at all.
did you find out all this yourself, or did you have to research all this yourself?
Yeah, like basically I just took everything into my own hands. Like and I do that. This is pretty much how I live. Like I research
Mm,
the shit out of everything,
mm,
and I just like just try things until I find something that works.
mhm.
um, and it
And, wh-
wasn't
and,
just,
wh- and
yeah, go ahead.
did you go from keto into carnivore, or did you just go straight into carnivore?
So right before I went full carnivore, I transitioned from animal based.
Okay.
Believe me, I tried like just about everything. Like there was one point before that when I was keto, and then there was like the at least like 8 years off and on as a vegan. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I've been on like just about every diet you can think of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And it's amazing, isn't it? Because everybody is pushing us now towards veganism,
I know. Yeah,
and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
yeah,
Like
it's crazy.
I'd say in the next 5 years, if they get their way, we'll be all on a plant-based diet.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah.
Gail,
um,
didn't you have another significant health issue? I think it was with your menses cycle.
yeah, so at the point where I started carnivore, I had lost my cycle, and I didn't even like, so I knew nothing about the carnivore diet basically, except for the little bit that I researched here and there. Um, but I went in very blindly. Like I didn't really know exactly what I was doing. And it didn't even like occur to me that I could possibly get my period back. Um, but the more that I like researched and the longer that I was carnivore, I started hearing all these experiences from other women who got their cycles back, and so I thought, well, maybe eventually it'll come back, and so like months went by, and I was trying not to feel too I was trying to feel as hopeful as possible, even though like I was feeling kind of like, why isn't it coming back? Like, why isn't it working? Maybe I am going through like early menopause, because I know it happens with some women, but it's probably because they're nutrient deficient, in my opinion. But
Mm,
um and then you have like all the environmental factors like toxins that affect your hormones, and
mm,
so there's so many different things, like your circadian rhythm.
mm,
But so anyways, I think it was uh roughly around month 6 that my menstrual cycle came back, and then after that it came back regularly, like every month. And that in itself, like just having a regular cycle, was incredible, because in the past, like my cycle has always been unpredictable. Like I would miss like 1 or like even 2 months uh, of having a cycle every once in a while. And like when I was a vegan, I would go like I would miss like 1 or 2 cycles, and that would just be like uh, normal for me. And uh, so so yeah, it's been coming back like every month. I'm able to like, it's very predictable. It's never uncomfortable. I never have like cramps or anything. I don't ever have like uh PMS symptoms or anything like that. Like I'm so glad every month when I get my when my cycle starts, because it's a really pleasant experience for me, and it just makes me feel really grateful that my body is working properly. And
that's the key word there, Gail, isn't it? What you just said there, and I think this is very, very important, that your body is working the way it should be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women need to hear that again. That so
Yeah.
many women are looking for the perfect body. They're just restricting. They're getting extremely thin. They're under eating, and they don't realize that the impact they're having on their hormones and
Yeah.
their menstrual cycle, and eventually having kids later on in life. And
Hmm.
this is what I just don't get, because people will say that, okay, it has nothing to do with hormones, it's just to do with calories. But what are hormones made of? They're made of cholesterol. So
Hmm.
when you look at what we're told, that we need to lower our cholesterol,
Hmm.
you look at men and their testosterone. Men are always giving out, okay, their libido's going down, their sex drive is going down. It's like, holy shit, like this is more important than you just looking a certain way and you have a set of abs. The same women. Okay,
Yeah.
if you look very, very thin and you look amazing, but what about your health?
Yeah.
Like if you're damaging your health, is that not more important to longevity?
Yeah.
And I'm
Right.
glad you said that, because that's what we need to focus on. We
Yeah.
need to
Yes.
focus on what's important,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's our health.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um,
And I'm not gonna lie, like I really wanted to lose weight. I wanted to have like my body back. But the longer that I stayed on carnivore, the more I started prioritizing like all the things like inside my, like all the health problems
Mm,
because after healing my eczema and getting my cycle back, like it just kind of wakes you up to, like the things that are happening
mm,
in your body that you're not even aware of or that you don't think about sometimes,
mm, mm,
so
Now,
yeah.
you started, what was that about the time you started your Instagram channel? You've got so many videos that address the good way you feel now, the healthy way you feel. And especially one of your videos addressed what changed your mind about what convinced you with regard to your career to stay on this way of eating. Please tell us about that.
Yeah. So um so at my job, I see sick people every single day. um it's it can be kind of depressing at times, but like I see uh people's like ailments and like diseases and stuff like that are so clearly caused by poor lifestyle choices.
mm,
And like I think the the most common procedure that I see that happens at the hospital is getting your gallbladder taken out. And it just seems like they'll just take a gallbladder out for like, just for nothing. Like in patients that aren't even that sick, like maybe they have just like a small little problem going on that, could probably be fixed really easily, but it's like
mm,
their solution is always to just take out the gallbladder or,
mm,
and I understand that like there are, you know, surgeries that like that need to happen, but I just feel like there's so many things that I see that, and I can't stop thinking to myself like, that could totally be prevented, and
mm,
but it's not the type of environment where like the doctors don't think that way. It's not a
mm.
healing environment whatsoever.
No,
It's
no,
yeah, and
yeah,
so that makes it kind of hard sometimes, just because I I'm starting to feel less and less aligned um, with my job, in that sense. I feel like kind of like a black sheep where I work at because uh, like if I mention my diet to a lot of people,
mm,
their main response is usually like, what about your cholesterol? Like those are the types of
mm,
people that I'm like surrounded by.
mm,
And
mm,
and I do talk about my diet with like people if it ever comes up, because I've gotten to the point where I at first I kind of kept it quiet But the more I started to heal, like the more confident I feel about talking to people about it. And I
Mm.
just like, I don't care anymore. I'll just talk to people, and like people look at me like I'm crazy, but they're also slamming a Red Bull drink at the same time, or like eating their pizza. And I try not to judge people and like their food choices, but I feel like I get judged a lot, but that just comes with the
Yeah, yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah. I'm actually working with somebody as well who actually works in the health sector, and I only had her on I had her on there last week. I put her on my Instagram story, and she went very deep into her job, and she was telling me what was going on. And I actually put it up on my Instagram story, but when she seen it, she panicked. She was like, "Mark, I need to take that video down, because
Oh.
if anybody sees it, and I'm talking about, okay, what's going on in the health sector and what I believe in, then I could lose my job." And I completely understood it. And that was on my point. I should have never put that video up, because she told me, she actually spoke to me that I think a 39-year-old, I think it was a female or a male, who was pre-diabetic. I think he was a type 1 or type 2, lost his leg. He got his leg
Hmm.
amputated. And this woman has been a carnivore for well over a year, but she could never get it right. That's why she reached out to me a couple of months ago.
Hmm.
And she was like, okay, well, I work in the health sector and I'm completely frustrated. I don't like what's going on, but at the same time, it's my job and I have to earn a living.
Yeah.
And I completely understand that, because I know Joff is the same in our community. He's the
Hmm.
very same. And I couldn't imagine working in that environment. That's
Hmm.
just me personally. I just,
Yeah.
for what I know right now, like I lost my parents last year to cancer.
Oh, sorry.
And from what I know right now, I couldn't go through that again. I could
Yeah.
not go into that environment and watch these people suffer in
Yeah.
so
I
much
know.
pain when you know you could do something about it. Now,
I
I'm
know.
not saying to anybody here that I can cure cancer, but I'm pretty sure I can put it into remission.
Yeah.
There's
I
a
believe
big
that.
difference there. A big difference.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that with all these chronic diseases that every single one of them are going to be magically disappearing after a diet. But what
Yeah.
I am saying is, what have you got to lose? Why don't you not just try it?
I know. Exactly.
Instead of going down the medical route and
I
being
know.
forced on medication, if you've got diabetes, why do you need to be on metformin?
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you're suffering with your mental health, why is our first protocol, okay, I'm going to put you on an antidepressant?
Yeah.
If I'm in severe pain with arthritis and back pain, why is it I have to be on painkillers? If I'm severely overweight, then why do I need to be put on Ozempic? I mean, these are the questions that we need to be asking.
Yeah.
Why is nobody asking these questions?
Yeah.
It's just it's incredibly frustrating
It
that
is.
everybody's just putting their faith into the health system, and this health system has failed us for over 100 years. You only need to look back at what we were told during COVID. I had this conversation regularly with Victoria. During COVID, what were we told? We were told to stay indoors,
Hmm.
eat fast food. We can still drink alcohol, while they closed the gyms and they told us that we can't go out in the sunshine and we can't talk to people. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
I know. Yeah.
Incredible. And we all fell for it. Every single
Yeah.
one of us fell for it.
Yeah, and
So
it
it
made
Yeah.
things worse.
so it just goes to show you the power they have over the people.
I know. Yeah. And it's sad because like I know a lot of people have woken up. But I mean a lot of people are still falling for it, and it's like I'm surrounded by those people every day when I'm at work, and I'm just I can't believe it. I try to like just keep my mouth shut, but it's yeah. It's kind of hard to
It's
watch.
just frustrating when you're coming up with a different solution and they're just going to block you straight away. They're going to be like, you know what? No, it's not right. It's not right. Even though cholesterol is vital for the body, I've already
Hmm.
mentioned it. When it comes to hormones, your hormones can't function without cholesterol. You know, what I mean, in order to produce testosterone, you need to have cholesterol. It's just unbelievable the information that we're being given. And then when you go back to these people and you explain to them, can you tell me what LDL stands for? I had this with a doctor about a year ago, and I asked him this question: can you tell me what LDL stands for? and he couldn't tell me. And he also
Wow.
he also said to me that there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. The minute he said that to me, I was like, okay, we're on our own here. We're on our own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
These people haven't got a clue.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah, it's
That's
scary.
why we need to keep making videos like this and hearing from people like you with really authentic, true stories of how their lives have changed with the carnivore diet. That's a weapon we can use.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's very, very important. I don't do this for my benefit. I do this for so people can actually hear these stories for themselves
Hmm.
and let them make up
Me
their own
too.
minds.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like I've done
Definitely.
on this podcast, we've done around, I'd say around 20 odd, maybe 25 interviews. And
Hmm.
Yes.
I've also done interviews on a different podcast that I do as well with two other guys. So all in all, we must have done around 50 interviews with inspiring people. Like these people are
Nice.
incredible, inspiring.
Yeah.
And
That's
when
awesome.
I hear these stories, I'm like, what other research do you want? Like
Yeah.
this is your data. This is all the stuff. I don't care what study you read.
Hmm.
I want you to listen to Gail's story. I want you to listen to what this woman is saying. This
Yeah.
woman battled for her skin for 3 years. 3 years. And now her skin is perfect. Why aren't we not listening to people like yourself?
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I battled for 12 years with a skin condition and gone in 10 months on carnivore. And that was
Incredible.
Wow.
so surprising. I was told it was incurable.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
defined what it was. They told me it was incurable and they told me it was precancerous.
Ah,
So I had that to look forward to.
wow.
Wow.
And that's all the help I got from doctors were multiple steroid creams
Oh
and
man.
take some pain control medication at home like a Tylenol.
Hmm.
That's all you get because they really don't have the answers. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, science is kind of a closed system where they have a set way of determining what they're going to believe. However, they do cherry pick within that system, so
They
the
do.
system is broken.
Hmm.
They're not paying attention to what's going on outside of their little system. If they
Hmm.
can't set up a control and if they don't ask the right questions, they're not going to get the right answers.
Hmm.
And we're hoping that we can just spread the word about how this is really working for people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
That's why, like now I'm a lot more open to talk to people about my lifestyle, just because I've had like so many amazing benefits that I've experienced so far. And, some people will just, smile and nod or whatever, but, there are always like at least a person here and there who will like genuinely be listening and ask me more questions. I
Mm.
actually have, so on my personal Instagram account, I was posting updates about my carnivore diet, and I had one friend reach out to me and ask me more questions about it, and we just kind of like chatted back and forth, and I just told her what I knew and what I experienced, and then later down the road, she actually started carnivore, and I think she might be about 6 months in right now, maybe like 5 or 6 months, and she's had a whole like 180 in her health, her
Wow.
health
Wow.
issues as well. Like um, she feels like so much more happy. Like she was struggling with um, like IBS type of issues, and she was trying like different types of diets to try to help with that, but and I think she kind of like had the same experience with me, like trying different things and not getting results, and then eventually she tried carnivore, and it was the one thing that worked for her. So that's why I think it's really important to try to be open about talking to people, because you might inspire somebody, to change their
Hmm.
life. And
Hmm.
so, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because like the diagnosis when it comes to IBS is that okay, you need to be eating more fiber. It's absolutely
Mm.
incredible. It's just eat more fiber, That's what's gonna fix the problem, and they
No,
don't realize
it's a
this is what's
place.
actually causing the problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
that
It's
is.
it's 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 incredible. It really is, and
Yeah.
like everything starts from the gut. Everything.
Hmm.
Every single thing that
Everything.
you go
Yeah.
through, it starts from the gut. So
Hmm.
how people don't understand this is beyond me. So if everything starts from the gut, well then surely we should be looking at what we feed the gut. That's
That
Yeah.
it.
makes sense. Yeah.
Common sense. It's like,
Yep.
okay, what are we feeding the gut? Instead of throwing everything at it and coming up with these solutions, why don't we not just look at what these people are eating? And
Hmm.
then we can come to the conclusion that maybe two of them, or sorry, when we look at the food pyramids and we look at the top, maybe we can come to the point where what we've been told about the food pyramids was wrong. Everybody is focusing on a carbohydrate that's not even essential,
Yeah.
incredibly,
And
Hmm.
fiber that's
absolutely
not
incredible, and
essential.
then fiber
Mhm.
is not even a nutrient. And
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
are the and
No.
these are the main two foods. These are the main two foods that we're told that we need to have in our food
I know.
or in our diet
Yeah.
It's
every single day.
useless
It's
and
absolute.
harmful
Yeah.
It's
and harmful.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure when you go into your place, Gail, I'm sure you see pictures everywhere of the food pyramids.
Of what?
I'm sure you see like pictures of the food pyramid all over your
Oh,
hospital.
yeah. Yeah. All that
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. That's
And
that's what I'm saying. Everywhere in every health sector,
hmm,
in a pharmacy, in a hospital, you'll always see pictures of the food pyramids.
yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I believed all that stuff up until I want to say maybe up until about 6 years ago. Like, so I believed all that stuff for nearly my whole life.
Mm.
And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, we were all brought up that way. We were all brought up,
Mhm.
okay, you need to eat your carbohydrates. These are your main source of energy. Stay away from fats. Just too high fats is bad for your cholesterol. It's going to clog your
Mhm.
arteries. They contain too many calories.
Yeah.
Just false information.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get a lot of flack from our friends and relatives. And I wanted to ask you, have you adjusted your daughter's diet in any way with carnivore information that you have?
So she's mainly like mostly animal based, but her diet has improved drastically just because, like changing my own diet. I think that just naturally kind of uh, changes hers a little bit. And um, my husband is, I would call his diet mostly animal based. He keeps trying to go full carnivore, but he has a problem um, with not eating the fruit, but he's mostly meat based as well.
Mm,
So we're
mm.
a really like big like meat eating family.
Good,
Um,
Mhm.
good, good.
and
Because it can be difficult, can't it, when you're living with somebody. I know Victoria has this with her son, and I have this with my daughter
Mhm.
as well. That you do whatever it takes to protect them and look after them, but at the end of the day, when they're adults, there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
They'll do whatever they want, and it's very very hard for me as a parent watching her eat that crap with what I know now and what
yeah,
I understand now. It's extremely hard to watch,
oh, I
and
bet.
it's even harder when I have to go to the shop and buy the stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Me
I
too.
understand.
He eats
Well,
relatively cleanly, but once in a while he'll have some processed food. I mean, he'll go on a binge and he'll buy all kinds of sweets and pumpkin pie. He's big on pumpkin pie. Whenever he sees it, he buys it, and donuts, and and that's once maybe every few months, but he will indulge in that. And unfortunately, it's hard. And I have been guilty of buying him brown rice for he buys his own broccoli, and I buy some chicken for him, but
mm,
it's really confining, and he will not even speak to me about the topic.
Mm.
But fortunately, my husband and I have both been carnivore for 7 years,
Oh, wow.
going on 8.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's really a lot easier when someone you're with understands the
Yeah.
principles at least and is willing to talk to you about
Mm.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the
Um,
same. Like if I didn't have these conversations with you guys, I'd go mad.
Oh dear.
I'd absolutely go mad because there's nobody in this country that's doing this. Nobody.
wow.
I'd say
Yeah.
there's around I'd say about 1% in this country that are doing
Wow.
carnivore and probably keto. And
Yeah.
it's very, very small. And it's extremely frustrating when all you want to do is have a conversation
I know.
on this diet, and
Yeah.
everybody is just brainwashed into something else.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like the only one out here. I mean, my husband he's mostly meat based, so like we're on the same page. But and then I have that friend of mine I told you about who went carnivore. She lives in Tacoma, but yeah, other than that, I don't know anyone close by at all
Mm,
um who's into this lifestyle. So like this community on Instagram that we're in, like it's been amazing, just having that
mm,
kind of support and
mm.
having people to talk to, like you said. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's very
And I can
helpful.
and I can definitely see 4 years ago it wasn't anywhere near as popular as it is right now. Like four
Yeah.
years ago, I could there wasn't anywhere near as much as now. Like everywhere you look now, people are carnivores,
Yeah.
which is amazing. It's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Um, but before I let you go, I want to ask you a few questions, Gail. Like, what are you doing at the moment? Are you doing 1 meal a day, 2 meal a day, and what does a standard day look like food wise?
So I do usually 2 meals a day. I actually, about a month ago, I reintroduced eggs into my diet, but only the yolks because I discovered that I actually quit eggs for a really long time. But I discovered that it's the whites
Mm,
that bother me, that like make my skin
mm,
break out.
mm,
But I can eat the egg yolks and be totally fine. So
mm,
lately I've been eating like scrambled egg yolks with butter. I reintroduced butter back into my diet also. I was doing Lion for quite some time, and so I usually have like egg yolks for breakfast lately, and then I actually started eating chicken again too. Um, but I'm in the process of changing my diet and trying to transition back to Lion, just
mm,
because I notice such a huge difference when I eat that way, because like my skin is so much softer,
mm,
and I actually have started eating dairy again too, which is like not a very good thing for me.
mm.
So I'm trying to get back on track currently, but I mean I'm having the time of my life though, because I love eggs. I love making like the carnivore ice cream and stuff. So I'm
Mm.
enjoying it right now while I can, but I'm gonna get a little bit more stricter just to get back
And
on track.
do you ever get bored of eating the same food every single day? Because you'll hear people saying that this is one thing that they just can't understand when it comes to carnivore. It's a restrictive diet. You're eating the same food every day. So let me ask you the question: do you ever get bored of eating a steak every day?
No, I don't, and I don't at all, and like I don't ever crave any of the stuff that I used to eat. Like fruit or anything like that. I don't get sick of eating just steak. I buy my steaks from a local company that sources their meat from local farms, all like grass fed, and it's like the best tasting meat I've ever had. And but then so I was doing carnivore or lion diet for a while, and then a month ago I started just doing like regular carnivore, and like it almost feels like I'm cheating because it's like you have so much variety to choose from. Like you got eggs, you got fish, you got chicken. Like it's not boring whatsoever. I love it.
It's amazing having that food freedom, isn't it? That you're not thinking about food, you're not counting calories. It's just like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm just gonna eat when I'm hungry, and that's it.
I know. Yeah, it's awesome. Love it.
It's such an amazing feeling.
It is.
Um,
It is.
it really is. If anybody's watching or listening right now, Gail, that's in the same position as you, has the skin issues, they're suffering with eczema, they're probably struggling with their weight, what advice would you give these people?
My advice is to just, I would give carnivore, give it at least 30 days. You'll probably notice some changes in the beginning. But there are a lot of things that take time to heal. But give it at least 30 days. I mean, I feel like you would need longer than that, but just try 30 days and see how you feel. See what kind of improvements that you see, and but the main thing is just uh, try to stay consistent. And if you do find it hard, and if you do make like little mess ups, or like cheat, I guess as they call it, it's not the end of the world. It depends on like what kind of diet that you're coming from. Like, it can be a really, really hard transition. And you can make small steps too. You don't have to like jump in like 100%. You can cut certain things out and just take small steps. But if you feel like just going all in, then do it, because some people, that works better for some people. But and then also try to find some kind of support system, even if it's online. I mean, I think that's probably the easiest, is because I feel like carnivore isn't as mainstream as other diets. So it may be hard to find other people in real life that are that have experience, but just try to find some kind of support system, and I don't know, just try it, because if you feel that you're out of options, then what you really have nothing to lose. So
Yeah, great advice, great advice. Anything you want to add, Victoria?
Well, no, I'm really appreciative of Gail to have shared her story with us. Thank you so much, Gail.
thank
But
you guys so much.
before I let you go, Gail, where can people go to find you?
I am on Instagram at divine_carnivore, and that's where you'll find me.
And are you on Instagram, or are you on all platforms, or is it just Instagram?
Just on Instagram.
Okay, and is there what's any plans in the next couple of weeks, years? Like, are you going to become a coach at the moment? Are you going to stay in your own field? What's the plans?
So I work part-time right now at the hospital. It's honestly, it's something that I don't want to do for very much longer, but I'm trying to figure it out. But I do plan on coaching. I'm actually in the process of finding a program online that I want to take. It's been hard. Like, I don't know who to go with. I have several different programs I'm looking at, but yeah, I just want to deepen my knowledge a little bit more, and so I can help people the way that they deserve to be helped. And
Well, there's a few of them I would recommend. I mean, Eddie Goke is a good one. I know Ken Berry does one as well.
oh,
So
really?
yeah, I think Ken Berry's one is like 6 months. I think Eddie Goke, he's going to be on the community now very, very soon. I think he does one as well. I think that's for 6 months. So is that the plan? That's the plan, is it? Like, you want to be a carnivore coach?
Yeah, I would like to. I would definitely like to do that. That's my plan. That's my goal. And I'm not like in a rush to do it, because I still feel like, I've been doing this for about a year, but I still feel like I have more that I need to learn. And I know it's going to be like a lifetime of learning, but but yeah, but that is a goal of mine, is to coach and help people.
Well, your
So
content on Instagram was amazing.
Thank
It
you.
really is. It's amazing. You know your stuff from what I say anyway.
Thank you very much. I enjoy
So
doing it.
yeah, and at the end of the day, you're making a difference, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, that's
That's the most important thing. So I would 100% just keep doing it because you're doing amazing.
yeah. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes, Gail has given us permission to put that one video we found very impactful about how your work changed your mind, and we'll tag that on to the end of this video.
And can you send me a picture, Gail, of when your skin was really, really bad, so I can actually put a side by side picture and put it on the thumbnail as well.
I actually, I don't think I have any because I never took any pictures of
Okay,
my
okay, okay,
rashes. Yeah, because like
okay,
I honestly like never thought that down the road I would have cured it because
okay,
I
okay.
thought I was like gonna live with that for the rest of my life, and that's one thing I regret is like not
Yeah.
having like comparison pictures. But
Well, at least you spoke about it. And is this your first
yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure, absolute pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you. I
thank you.
appreciate everything you guys do, and thank you so much for having me.
Thanks very much for coming on. We'll speak soon.
All
Thanks.
right then. Thank you, everyone.
All right,
Bye bye
thanks.
now.
Bye.
Bye bye.